It was an opportunity to gain market share, not lose it.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Thank you so much. So, Paige, tell us, why do you think what has been the biggest challenge in you that you have building your business, and how you overcome that challenge?
So, like a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, the people that you start with are not always the ones that are going to grow with you over time. And so, having the right people on your team, you might have heard the saying, get the right people on the bus. You want to make sure you've got the right team around you to be successful for the long term, for a sustainable growth. And one of the biggest mistakes I made early on, which is common for entrepreneurs, is the people that you start with, sometimes they're great at the beginning, but as you are scaling, as you are growing, they are not growing with you. And, they say that there's a famous saying that you hire slowly and fire quickly. And when you start realizing that the team is not comfortable with, you're very from year quadruple. Year 3, we tripled. Year 4, we doubled. And so the base of the business was growing very quickly. And there were a couple of people on the team that were more like one-trick ponies. They were very good at what they did, but they were very uncomfortable outside of that very small scope. And so my failure, I guess, is, I want to be loyal and bring people along and give people the benefit of the doubt. But it became increasingly obvious to me and to the team that these people were getting more threatened and uncomfortable as we were growing, and they were holding us back. And it took me a little longer than it should have, but eventually I realized they were not going to be part of our future. They were an important part of the past, but they were not growing along with our scale. So I had to shake hands and part ways with a couple of people who were helpful early on that were just getting more threatened as we were growing pretty quickly. What that does is it sends a signal to the rest of your team that you really value the A-team players, and you want to surround yourself with the very best people. Having a strong team that does they're very complementary skill sets. My team was very good at things that maybe I wasn't as good at, so together we were a really great force. And as soon as I let those people go, the rest of the team just thrived. The bar got higher. We got stronger. People realized you have to be great to stay with this organization. We want only the best people that can grow with us at this fast rate. So I would just tell other entrepreneurs out there, it's hard to let people go. It's hard to kind of, fasten your seatbelt and grow at the speed that the market needs. And if people are not helping you get there faster, you need to kind of move them along so that you can move along at a better rate with a better culture, and people will really rise to the occasion. When the bar got higher, everybody rose up.
Yeah, it's different because sometimes, when the people that you start with, also some of them, they are very committed. They're willing to work with you 24/7 because they are starting with you and they treat the company like they were theirs. But then when you scale up and you have several more than 10 employees, no, everyone will fit into that culture of startup culture, and some adjustment has to be done during the line because it won't be it won't be possible to get them all committed. However, culture is one of the mo- the most strongest
Critical,
element.
absolutely critical.
Yeah, the I asked this question to a lot of entrepreneurs in this same podcast. Um, if you had to start all over again, what would be the main thing that you put attention? And lots of them are giving me this answer: culture, Harry, because um, if we knew number one that the people we're starting with that is gonna be 10 times, 100 times harder, we will look after them very good. At the same time, um, you will know at the beginning of the business who doesn't fit into that culture. And it's very easy. Sometimes you bring an employee, and the employees, they think that they're working in a corporate, that they need holidays, they need a lot of money, they need all these benefits that doesn't fit the value of a startup. The startup won't be able to afford any of these things because the startup itself doesn't know if it's gonna make it. Now,
Exactly. No, like I said, it's a common problem, but you don't know how you're going to react until it happens to you. And then you have to be very, very clear, very decisive. And yeah, the culture really matters. I mean, I need everyone on our team to be a reflection of the values of our brand and our company. And if people are holding back, they're threatened, they're uncomfortable, that's not the right formula. It's not the right special sauce for high growth businesses.
So during COVID times, there were 80% of the entrepreneurs decided that was a very good idea to cut the marketing budget because they didn't know what is going to be the business situation. And they thought that was a good idea to cut the marketing budget. There were other people that they were very clever and they realized that the competitors reduced the budget of marketing, and what they did, they increased it, and some of marketing force are for pay advertising. So it's a bidding process. So of course, if you have less people bidding for the keywords, it's actually cheaper. So 20% of the entrepreneur put a foot on the gas and triple the investment in marketing in the capacity to acquire clients, where 80%, because it was concerned, they were concerned, they decided that it was a good idea to reduce the marketing budget. So what's your opinion, and which one do you think that took the right decision?
So obviously, I'm a big believer in the power of marketing. Our tagline is because marketing matters. I had a professor in business school that said, marketing is everything and everything is marketing. And I really believe that. I think when he said it at first, I used to laugh and roll my eyes. But I think the longer I've been doing marketing, the more I think what he's
Absolutely, it's the
absolutely
capacity to
true.
attract clients.
If
And
nobody knows about
if
you,
you don't have those leads, how you gonna sell your product? And if you don't sell your
exactly.
product, you have nothing.
Exactly. If people don't know about you, they're not going to be buying from you. So, COVID was a really interesting period because, like you said, a lot of people got nervous. They wanted to conserve cash. They cut back their marketing. They laid off people that were doing marketing. Interestingly, and not surprisingly, the people that we worked with during the pandemic looked at it as a huge opportunity because, like you said, there's not as
So
much noise, there's not as much competition. And what
was
we
an
saw
amazing opportunity to get more market share, right? Or
exactly, and what we saw from the companies that we were working with during that period, they realized the world had changed. and the market had changed in so many different ways. I mean, think about
Do you lose any
how,
clients? Do you have some clients that give you resistance?
yeah, we had people that decided to put their marketing on hold, and, they suffered the consequences, unfortunately. But we had several new clients who realized this was a great opportunity.
That was
And
time to put the foot on the gas. Yeah, absolutely.
exactly. And what a lot of companies were not willing to do before the pandemic is to do customer research. And we talked about market research at the beginning of our time here, but market research was more important than ever before, because think about how much the world changed in March of 2020.
Oh,
How we
absolutely.
worked, where we worked, what we wore to work. I mean, everything just got, turned upside down. So a lot of businesses used us to help them talk to their customers about, the landscape. What's different? How are you thinking about this category or your purchase decisions? So I think the really smart strategic businesses, whether they hired us or did it on their own, they took a step back. They really looked at it as an opportunity to actively listen to their customers and their prospects. And they looked at the primary, secondary, and tertiary audiences, all the people that were involved in the decision to buy the product or service, and they customized the message accordingly. So, you've got the person, let's say, whoever your direct customer or client is, but especially during the pandemic, maybe the finance team or the procurement department, there were other people who were very involved in the decision because of the complexity of all the world being turned upside down. So you might have one message to your direct client, a different message to the finance people to show how long-term this is a cost savings, or what the return on your investment is going to be. So there was a financial message. There might have been a supply chain message. Remember how the supply chain got completely messed up originally during COVID. So they were able to customize their messages for each audience that was involved in the decision process. And that made their marketing and their messaging much tighter, much more relevant. And they were able to take advantage of the fact that there was a lot less noise, a lot fewer competitors. So like you said, it was an opportunity to gain market share, not lose it. And the best part was those clients that invested in marketing had great stories to tell. And then they could use teams like ours to help them get their stories out there through thought leadership and content marketing and social media. So they were able to really leverage the market research to do more public relations to get their story out into the market even better. So they really benefited from the setback in the economy.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.